Dabu 7. It's no secret that we're in some tough times right now, but in certain areas with the announcement of lockdowns, this has blindsided some folks that did not see that the shelves were going to get cleared out. There's something going on here, and it was just a couple months ago where big businesses were saying that they were going to start to limit what they were putting out right around a month or so ago. And it was like, hold on, no one is rushing in yet. Like, there's no panic buying. Why are you doing all this? Well, we know because of everything that we're going through here globally, along with their great reset, all these things tied in. We're seeing people now having to depend on the government for money, for food, everything above, because their jobs and everything have been wiped out. Not only have their jobs been wiped out, but they're on the verge of losing their homes. And people are waiting in just insanely long lines to get food at the food banks. Thousands of cars lined up to collect food in Dallas, Texas. Some people waiting for 10 to 12 hours. You don't wait 10 to 12 hours in a line to get food unless you are desperate. And this is happening to thousands of people. It's time people take the blinders off and realize what's happening here. Fortunately, there are some good people out there trying to help others in this situation. And we have multiple food banks across the country. And you can see here's an aerial shot. All the people lined up to get food at this facility. So it has definitely begun. This massive food drive they're pulling at these different areas is the only thing that is putting dinner on the table for many people right now. So things to think about. I'm going to continue to update on this. Make sure to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm going live on DLive, talking about all the stuff they want to censor on all these other platforms. So links below. I look forward to seeing you guys over there. Much love. Peace.
So the mountains here, where we are, in the Chugach Mountains of Alaska, there's no place like it. Fly up to...
This is Dabu 7, taking a look here at the shelves across the country. As I noted in the previous video, we have seen an explosion of long lines across the country, city to city, for people that are waiting to get food from these food banks. This is happening because the stores are running bare. And I'm not so sure that everyone is seeing what is happening. Now, some are saying that this is uncalled for because what we witnessed at the beginning of the year, a lot of people should have learned their lesson. The waves of people that went out and bought all these things, and they hoarded all these things, and they never needed to hoard them. Nothing has changed. They're just trying to lock down everything again. Just the lockdown thing. That's all it took to set this whole thing into motion. But still, people went out, panic bought all the stuff that they bought before that they just sat on that they never needed for any emergency purpose. So the question is, what happened to the stockpile that all these people bought in the spring? And another question that comes to mind here is just exactly how far is this going up the ladder in terms of the command chain? In terms of what can be brought out onto the shelves and not. Is there a bunch more in the back? Well, interestingly enough, it was just about a month ago, they had made statements that this was going to happen across the board. Places like Walmart, Sam's Club, Target, they were going to start limiting items that were being put out on the shelves so they could keep a bulk supply in the back. They mentioned this, like I said, about a month ago. But here we are seeing the places cleared out. So did that do any good? And I just wonder how much stuff will go to waste that people bought to sit on. Maybe they bought canned tuna that they never really wanted to eat, but they bought it just in case, you know? And what, are they just going to let this stuff go to waste and go out and do it again? You telling me these people are going to get out, they're going to do it again in the spring? And then again next fall? I mean, because some of the people are observing this, and they're like, the lemmings are just going out in a herd and doing it again. So they put their money in these stocks. And it's also not fair, as we've mentioned before, that all these mom and pop shops, all these businesses have been decimated as the billionaires have made trillions. everyone's running online to buy everything through Amazon. That's what makes Bezos so rich. You have to stop doing that. If you want to fight back, you have to start thinking about it. Tactically. And you have to stop feeding the beast. For real. I'm going to break this down further because the beast ain't trying to feed you. It's trying to chuck you off. It's trying to get everybody out here decimated to where they got to depend on the system. That's not where you want to be, because then they can pull the carpet out from underneath of you at any time. So we got to stay vigilant here. We got to stay sharp, guys. I'm breaking this down in further detail Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, during the live streams exclusively over here on DLive. Make sure to check me out here as well as on Parler. You'll find me on Twitter and my 2 channels on YouTube, Dapu77 and 777. So, much love, you guys. I'll see you on the live streams. Peace.
2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Wakar Kwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation to you Akim out there that have been pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. Here he is, we got it. It's coming down the pike, man. You have food banks that cannot sustain the amount of people that's coming in, that's lining up to obtain some kind of substance to feed their belly. Because we're in the time of great tribulation, man. We're approaching that dark winter that Joe Biden has vehemently been talking about. Passionately saying it's going to be a dark winter. Joe Biden. He's been saying that. So now here we see in Texas, New York City, Jersey, Delaware, all these states are having trouble feeding their citizens, whereas they're setting up food banks, man. And these food banks are having trouble feeding these people, man. Because there's too many people and not enough food. Things are starting to heat up. You people have not a clue what's going on. You're too busy worried about how you're going to entertain your family and friends for Thanksgiving, aka the Day of Thievery. You people are too wondering. You're out there with your mind on Space Mountain somewhere, wondering how I'm going to get all these gifts together for the worshiping of the Day of Tammuz, aka Christmas. You people are in the spirit of mirth. You're not in the spirit of war. You're not in the spirit of giving down, hunkering down and praying and asking the Lord for guidance and asking the Lord to deliver you out of the set trials and tribulation that's about to smack everybody in the face, man. Because now they got this vaccination, and you brothers out there know what I'm talking about, that they're set to unleash December 11th on the public. But lockdown's coming before that. December 1st. That's what they're saying. Bill de Blasio. So, 2nd Ezra, I'm going to read it again. 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Esau is a proud bastard. But guess what? You got Jake out there that's proud as hell too. They proud, man. From these women to these effeminate men to these gangbanging niggas. They all pride, filled with pride, man. And pride coming before a fall. That's why it says, for they have walked in great pride. Now here we got these food banks that can't feed the people. Because there's too many people to feed. And not enough food to go around. There's no more jobs. The grinding is ceasing. So now what? They want you totally dependent on the government. Because you're going to line up women and children and sucker ass beta, tender dick ass niggas. They're going to be following their women to take that Alpha D microchip. That's just the bottom line, man. That's just the bottom line, how everything is going down, man. Everything is going down according to how Esau wanted. Actually, everything is going down according to how the Lord, Yahweh Shah wanted, because guess what? Esau is the Lord's whipping stick. Esau is doing the Lord's bidding, but on the left-hand side, because the Most High controls both sides of the spectrum. The Most High, Yahweh, is not, don't have no beef with Satan, man. That's folklore. That's fairy tales. That's Dante Inferno bullshit. The Lord do not have beef with Satan. Actually, it tell you in Job, the first chapter or the second chapter, that Satan is one of the sons of the Most High. And he takes his orders from the Most High. Now dig that. But these wacky-tacky Christians, they'll tell you something else, man. The Lord deals with both sides. And guess what? The Lord's about to unleash Esau on 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. By the way of famine, by the way of death, and by the way of destruction. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter, let me see, I'm going to go to first. 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, because the beginning of sorrows is starting to take place, man. It's starting to take shape and take form into what? Great miseries. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning. The beginning of famine. You see it happening right now, right? Food banks. Thousands of cars lined up in Texas, Delaware, New York City, California. They lined up for these food banks trying to get some subsidies to feed their belly, to feed their children's belly. Cannibalism is a part of the curses, and cannibalism is coming back on a large scale. You understand? Are you comprehending? You people have not a clue of what's going on. Hey, it is what it is, man. So it reads, back in 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death. Because with famine comes death. With uproars of the people, death, destruction. It says, the beginning of wars. When there's wars, there's death, there's destruction, there's mayhem. The beginning, it says, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. And evils, that's mean bad times, man. Bad times. And bad times is definitely on the horizon. It says, what shall I do when these evils shall come? When this bad time shall come. And the bad time is talking about is Jacob's trouble. Famine, death, pestilence, destruction. Whether it's man-made, it's all coming from the Lord, man. It's all because the Most High controls both sides of the spectrum. And you people are going to find that out real soon. Because the Lord is going to allow Esau, the so-called white man, to show his horns. He ain't going to shave his horns down no more like Hellboy. He's going to let it grow. And he's going to do his thing. And it's called Operation Warp Speed. It's called martial law. Y'all going to learn. You see, you're in the spirit of mirth. How you going to feed your belly for Thanksgiving in a couple of days, man? You're all saucy and soaking because your family members can't come through because of the travel restrictions that Cuomo and the rest of these governments, these governors are restricting you from, man. So you're all soaking and you're all saucy for that, man. But you're going to line up for that vaccination and for the offer the microchip. You people have not a clue of what's coming down the pike, man. And I almost feel sorry for y'all, man. Almost. Dig the word. Almost feel sorry for y'all. Shit is real deep, man. It says, verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent for scourges for amendment. Let me read it again. Behold, famine, a lack of bread, a lack of water, and plagues, AIDS, cancer, E. coli, Ebola, COVID-19, or whatever you fancy to call it, is a plague. Behold, it says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation. Tribulation is definitely coming. Jacob's trouble, martial law, is definitely coming. It says, and great mourning. Matter of fact, it says, tribulation and anguish are sent for scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, man. These people, no matter what, man, they're going to worship Esau, the so-called white man's holidays, whole so-called holidays, they pagan festivals. All these scourges that's coming down the pipe, famine, niggas getting shot up, police brutality, they're not going to be mindful, or nor are they going to ask, why is these things happening? Because you wicked as all fuck. They don't consider these things, man. These are things to consider. They don't consider anything, man. Because Jake is in the time of mirth. When I mean Jake, I'm talking about you Negroes, Hispanics, on down to you goddamn Mexicans, man. You're in the time of mirth, partying, festivities, you know what I mean? Thanksgiving, followed by, first it was Halloween, All Hallows Eve. Then Thanksgiving, followed behind the worshiping of Tammuz, which are called Christmas. Then the Babylonian New Year's. So you're in the spirit of mirth. You're not in the spirit of hunkering down and watching for these prophecies to come to pass, man. Because you have not a clue. Why? Because you too dumb to realize you're dumb. Because you're dumb. You're too dumb to realize you're dumb because you're dumb. You don't even know you dumb, but you dumb. That's how dumb you are. If that makes sense. God damn. Yeah, man. Shit is coming down the pike, man. Real bad. Real bad. The Most High's about to allow Esau to do you niggas vicious like. It's going to happen. I had a dream today, and in that dream, they was giving out vaccinations, and in my dream, the army was on my block, and they was in my backyard, and I was saying to myself, right now I'm about to die. And I started praying in my dream, but I was shook. I was scared. They was in my backyard, and I was saying to myself, damn, right now I'm about to die. Because they're about to force this vaccination on people. And I'm hearing gunshots and people screaming. This is in my dream. So I'm tossing and turning because I'm trying to, I'm dreaming. It's bugged out. And the last thing I can remember was I said that I'm about to die. And I was praying to the Lord. And I woke up. And that was this morning on the way going to work. Today, I had that dream. It was kind of scary. I was shook. In my dream, I was scared. These things is coming down the pike, man. You people have not a clue of what's going on, man. And they was passing it, and they was giving out vaccinations or vaccinations excuse me, don't want this video to get chopped up because I mentioned that word, the V word. We can't do that no more. So tribulation is coming, man. You people have not a clue. Tribulation is definitely coming, man. It says, but for all these things, back in 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 20, it says, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. They still gonna be homosexuals. They still gonna be out there committing adultery. They still gonna be gangbanging. They still gonna be dealing with witchcraft. They still gonna be doing their wickedness, man. They're not gonna be mindful of all the scourges coming down the pike, man, until it hits them in their face. And that's how it is, man, with Jake. Jake is a stiff-necked and rebellious people, man. When I mean Jake, to my you Negroes on down to Issachar, man. You Mexicans, man. You're stiff-hearted, man. You'd rather obey man than obey the Lord Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shah? You'd rather observe all the pagan festivals that man bring forth, but you disregard the Lord's statutes and commandments and high holy days of the Lord Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah. You're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they may think that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. Hey, I can go to Aldi's and rack up on all kind of expensive exotic meats, all kind of organic meats for cheap. Tell me this prophecy ain't coming to pass, man. Every time I walk into Aldi's and I see all that meat that's with reasonable prices, that if I go anywhere else, they'll charge me an arm and a leg. The other day yesterday I went and got some grounded lamb. In Key Food, they wanted $12 for that. I paid $5 for that. Organic. See, it says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth. Bad times. That word evil means bad times. Shall grow upon the earth. It says, sword, famine, and great confusion. And we see that right now. The sword with these endless wars, the famine, people lining up for food banks to get some substance to feed their family, and great confusion because they don't even know what the hell is going on, man. They are in a perplexed state. They're in a perplexed state of mind. They have no clue of what's going on. Because like I stated earlier, they too dumb to realize that they dumb. Because they dumb. Unbelievable. It says, sword, famine, and great tribulation. It says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, lack of food, lack of bread, lack of water. And the other that escaped the hunger shall the sword destroy. If you escape the hunger, if you had sense enough to stock up on some food, not toilet tissue, you may survive the hunger, but you're going to go outside and one of them crackers is going to shoot you down, man. So the sword is going to, you're going to get caught up with the sword. You're going to be destroyed by the sword. It says, verse 23, and the dead shall be cast out as dung. You know what dung is? Shit. You say you see this shit on the side of the street, these dogs take a squat and shit on the street. That's how these bodies gonna be laid out on the streets, like dung. Shit. Cause that's what they are anyway. Shit. Dung. Death and destruction is coming. Oh yeah. Death and destruction is coming. Yeah, it is. That's right. And you people have not a clue. And the dead shall be cast out as dung. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 23. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted. Wasted how? Do famine, destruction, and ultimately famine, destruction, uproars of the people, fires, and ultimately thermal nuclear destruction and concentrated fire from them chariots. Did not the Lord call the missiles the way he created the waster to destroy? That's another name for the nuclear missiles, the waster. And the city shall be wasted. It says, the earth shall be wasted, and the cities cast down. And the cities cast down due to the weight of martial law. Not only that, when these missiles hit, all hell gonna be breaking loose, and that's when Yahweh Shai gonna crack them skies, bringing death, destruction, and deliverance right along with them missiles bombarding America and certain parts of the earth. That's where the earth is gonna reel to and fro like a drunkard. Dig it. You better dig it. Second Ezra, chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe means destruction. We know that. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. That sound like a race war to me. That sound like uprising of the people to me. For there shall be sedition among men. That word sedition, you look it up, it's uprising against a monarch or a government. And that's what's taking place throughout the whole four corners of the earth. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes. They ain't gonna regard what the hell Bill de Blasio have to say, Mario Cuomo, or any other governor that's a puppet for the international bankers that started with the Rothschilds. They ain't gonna regard nothing. They're gonna go out there and do what they gotta do in order to obtain some substance to survive. It's all about survival. And only the strong is going to survive. Only the elect of the Lord Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, is going to survive in that time. 2/3 is going to be destroyed. 2/3 is going to be destroyed. And that's how it's going down. That's how it's going down. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. They're going to take everything in their own, they're going to take actions in their own hands, man. The city's going to be locked down, and these people are going to be so caught up in all this madness that when they realize that everything is clamped down on them, the city's gonna be locked down, man. The bridges is gonna be closed, the tunnels gonna be closed. There's no way in, no way out, man. No food coming in, no food coming in, nothing going out, man. That's gonna be a massive famine. That's martial law. And it reads, it says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And we're approaching that time. Brakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We're approaching that time. Because you have a lot of people out here that's filled with pride, man. And pride comes before a fall. Pride comes before a fall. Verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their house with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. That's what's coming down the pike. Famine and great tribulation. Martial law, machinations, and the R4D microchip. And to cap it all off, thermal nuclear destruction and concentrated fire from them chariots. We in that time. We're in that time. We're not in the time of mirth. We're not in the time of partying. We're in the time of war. Think about that. With that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Wakak Wadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.